Okay, so I've got these with these. Right, so next we're going to do a similar one, but it's going to be, you're going to see a bit more of the umbrella on the outside. So we'll do a bit like a semicircle shape, which is a typical kind of umbrella shape, I would say. And we're going to come down a bit like an eye shape. That's it. So it's going to be a bit like that. So the edges we're going to bring round kind of to here, I'd say. So it looks a bit like an eye. Okay, and I'm not going to say the centre point. I'm going to say that the centre point is here, which is actually inside, but we just need a rough, we need to know roughly where it is. So I'm just going to do my hand on my line just so that I know where I am. It's a rough line like this. Okay. Okay, so we've got a bit of a shape here. Let's put like a little handle on here, like this. Okay, so got that. So now we're going to put our spines in. So actually no, I'm going to put that bit in. Right, so I'm going to make this one 1 and 2. So bit of a curve this side and a bit of a curve that side. Okay, so the other one we're not going to see the other end here, but we're still going to put it in anyway. So just roughly there and roughly where that edge is. Oops, a bit wobbly. That's it. So that we've got them. It's going to come down there a bit. Okay, so we've got 1, 2. So this other one's going to be around here somewhere, so I'm just going to put these on because it just makes it easier. So, and then we're going to have 1, 2, cross and down, 3. And this is something that you're going to have to practice and see what you actually like, okay? What shape you like, how many spines you want to see, because it does make a difference. So this is going to be going to each of the, it's not going to see that on there, but we know that it's there and we know that it's inside. So as long as we can see some of them. So now we can do the edges. So the edges are going to go like this. Okay. This one's going to be higher because we can't see all of that because it's around the corner. That's it. And this is going to be a higher one as well. Okay. So if you want to have a shaded in bit, you can shade that bit in like every other one, or just the corner ones that are going to be darker. There we go. So that's your umbrella. So there's lots of different ways, but it's good to practice different ways and know which ones you like and what you're going to do. So I'll come around that bit off a bit so we can see there. Okay, so that's that. So we've got the umbrellas. Okay, so next we're going to, I think this is a bit too big this, I'm going to cut this piece of paper in half and do half the size one, only because I won't fit it on camera otherwise. So I'm just going to cut it with a pair of scissors. My guillotine's over there, so So I'm going to draw on my piece of paper, I'm going to draw roughly where I want things. So first of all I need to do my horizon line. So where do I want my horizon line to go and how much of it do I want to see? So in this one I wanted to see, it was about halfway, a bit lower than halfway, and some of my buildings, well, what looks like buildings kind of went this way. I don't think it's this way. So I kind of had one here and one here really, and this disappeared into the distance, and I felt that I liked that way, so I think I'm going to do the same thing again. So it wasn't quite in the middle, it was probably about there. So I'm now going to draw my umbrella first, and then I know roughly where to put everything else in and how big it's going to be. So I think I want it about that round. I want it about here. So I think I want his feet to start here and his body probably about here. So this is going to be his shoulders. So I'm just going to do a round part here. And when you kind of make it a carrot shape really, so it's going to go longer and then shorter. So it goes shorter to about here, and jacket and trousers and just a bit, just a shadow really. So that's a shadow there. So now I'm going to do the umbrella. So this one I actually did the back of it, so I'm probably going to just do the back of it again, I think. So I need to work out my shape. So that's how much that looks about right to me. So now I'm going to pick a center spot. So my center spot, I think I'm going to put my center spot here. So most of it's at the back behind his head, but he's got some coming over towards the front. So I've picked my center spot. You can't see the inside spines, but you can see that, you can still know that they're there. So remember, you can have a circle around that roughly, which is where your spines will go. Okay, so one, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you look, they kind of bend round a bit like a clock. So once you get to kind of this side, say 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you get to here and then you bend the other way. So this goes towards the 12 o'clock this side. Okay, so you're going all the way around. So this bit's going to be slightly different colour, different because of the light. Okay, so that's your roughly our umbrella. So now we're going to put your points in and the insides. So some of it you're going to see and some of it you won't. So here you won't actually see, this is going to look straight here and it's going to look straight here. Okay, because it's going downwards and we can't see the front, but we can see it as it's coming back. Okay, so we can put this straight line in here and make it more straighter so you can see the light. Okay, so that's where we're going to put our person in. So now I know where I need to paint. And this is going to be my horizon line. So in the distance, I possibly might make it a bit. And I'm going to make it. Where's my? There it is. I think I'm going to change this and. That's better. Got a bit of an angle there now. Okay, so we're ready to start painting. So let's get paints together. Alright, so I'm going to use ultramarine blue, and crimson red, cadmium yellow, and titanium white. Okay. Right, so here we go. So the only thing I know where it's going to be is this. The rest of it I'm just going to make up. We're just going to see what happens. So you really want the top to be darker and the bottom to be lighter, because if you look here, I made it light because of the puddles and a little light, and this was quite dark. So I think I'm just going to do the same thing here that I did before. So what you do when you use a palette knife, you pull some colour out and you mix it in the centre. Okay, mix it in the centre like this. That's like a purple colour. Okay, so you mix it till you get the right colour. If you want it all the same colour or you want a slightly different colour. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to put it to the side, and I'm just going to drag it down like this. Okay, and I'm going to probably go sideways. It's like a purple colour, this is. Okay, so I'm going to do some blue. I'm going to do some white. I don't want to mix it properly, I just want to get some of the colour in so that it looks like this. Just a bit of all of it really. Okay, so it doesn't matter if I go up to that line. I know roughly where it is. Okay. Let's mix some more. Put a bit of yellow in. So you can press it down. It's quite bendy, this palette knife. That's it. So this needs to go straight. So no, I want to go. That's it. Like this, and then I'll probably do some at the side, because I know there's going to be some puddles. I know roughly where our line's going to be. I'm going to put some black in. I wasn't going to, but I think I'm going to, because I think it's going to make it a little bit darker. I'll mix some of it together. Yep. Butter. Now it'll always be a bit light as it goes away from you. Okay, right, so let's get some white in. Okay, so there, so we can get some. So we're just adding paint until we're happy with what we've got. It will dry quite quickly on acrylic paper. I'll put some red in here. So I'm now going to put some red in here as well. Okay, so they look a bit like flags. Okay. So really, it's a bit like a mirror image. You just want to, not exactly the same, but just get some light in. So let's get some white in here. It's going to be okay. So I'm going to do a shadow behind him, which is quite grey. Probably needs to be a little bit darker, so I'll get some more black. That's better colour. So you can put his shadow here. That's it. He's kind of like this, I think. His shape. You can do this with an acrylic card or a piece of card. You don't have to use a palette knife. But we're not using a paintbrush for any of this. We're doing all of it with a palette knife. So find your stopping point where your feet are going to go, or where you think your feet are going to go. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to do some more purple. I quite like this purple. It's quite nice. Kind of gives a good background colour. So I think I'll put some more white with it. That's it. Alright, let's get some more red. So the red needs to kind of come here. And here. So I think the purple, we need some purple in the reflections because we haven't got much purple in the reflections, and there is some up there, so I think we'll add a bit more here. A bit more red. Okay. So some of the puddles are gonna have okay. Right, now so we're going to do the umbrella, so let's put some more red out. This one's red and orange, so I'm going to do exactly the same one again. Okay, so this is where the yellow is quite brightly yellow, but it's going to be toned down. We're not going to use just that yellow, unless you want it that is quite bright. But just make it that size. So the red's come down here. I'm just gonna do it on its side. Okay, there you go. So I think I put a section in there, which I think will just see that bottom bit. Sorry, I keep bashing the camera. The camera stands in the way. Okay. So we're going to come across here. It's a bit like icing a cake. You're kind of pressing down with your fingers. These are quite bendy, these ones. The tip's quite bendy. Right, so I think we're going to have a bit of orange. So let's put a bit of orange on this side. It's a kind of bit of a different light. So it's got a bit of grey on it, so just go over it. Set. Right, so the yellow on this side. It's a bit contaminated, this now. There's a few colours in it I don't really want. Oh, that's it. That's it. More red out. I'm going to put that over here. So you don't need a lot of paint, you just need to use a little bit at a time, because if you put a lot down you use a lot, and you don't always need a lot. Sometimes You only need a little bit. So this is drying now, so and it can be impasto, which is thick. Impasto means thick paint, so it will dry. Alright, I'm going to use a little bit of this one, and I'm going to I'm going to try and put a line in. Okay. So. So we know it's all meeting at the centre point. Okay. So I can take that bit off. I'll take that bit off and I can add another. Just wipe my palette on. Oh, right, that's clean again. It's getting wet. Quite dry, this paint now. That's okay. I can come down right where that is. I'll straighten up some of these edges. So I'm going to do a light blue to show some highlights on his jacket. Not too light. Bit more blue. So I'm just going to put. So I want to look. It to kind of look like that's his jacket, and that's probably the back of his arm and his trousers. Okay, so I'm not going to use up what's on my palette knife, so I'm just going to put this in here. And I've got some white to use up, so I'm going to use it up over here. And I'm going to make this lighter down the bottom. Because I feel like it's a wet, muddy puddle. And it's quite light, and there's quite a lot of light about at the bottom. So I feel like that's what we need. So this bit I'm going to cut in here and make that bit darker, because it looks like it's part of his trousers and it's actually not. So I'm just going to cut this in here like that. Okay, so that's roughly a very quick demonstration of it with palette knife. So this is kind of look before and after. Okay, so it gives a good idea. So I hope you try it, and I hope you have lots of fun. Make loads of mess, and it dries really quick on this. So this is nearly dry already, so you can see by the light it's nearly dry. Okay, So I will see you all next week. Bye.